Thank you very much to Julia Corpus. I do love that idea of waking up and discovering you've got 11 grandchildren you didn't know you had. And it seems to me to be a metaphor for what poets do when they get to the final draft of a poem, when they're expecting perhaps a son or a daughter, and suddenly 11 grandchildren turn up and you realise it's going to be a very good poem. I think T.S. Eliot himself would have been pleased with tonight. He would have been very pleased to see Jorie Graham on the shortlist. She's a welcome breath of the avant-garde on the shortlist. Jorie Graham writes the most amazing long sentences, and she's not just about long sentences. That isn't all she is. But when I read Jorie Graham's long sentences, there's difficulty there, and there are images, and there's the shape of the poems on the page. And I sense when I read Jorie Graham's poems that my brain is working at its very limit to understand it, as her brain is working at its very limit to write them. And I realise always, perhaps a third of the way through the poems, that her brain is working much harder than mine, and that perhaps I should call on my grandchildren to help me. And there's more than long sentences here, but when you read a long sentence, you kind of get a Jorie Graham poem in miniature, the idea of the long, extended idea, the breath taken as far as it can go, the idea that the end of the poem is somehow linked to the start of the poem in a way that you couldn't really work out before you started reading it. These really are wonderful poems. Jorie sadly can't be with us, but her poems are going to be read by her publisher, Michael Schmidt. Michael.
Jorie Graham was very reluctant, I think, to entrust me with this task, and she urged me to urge you to go home and to go to her website, joriegraham.com, and listen to her read these poems. I'm going to read two poems. The first is called Dialog of the Imagination Sphere. It's on page 29 of Place. All around in houses near us, the layoffs. The windows shine back, sky. It is a wonder we can use the word free and have it mean anything at all to us. We stand still, let the cold wind wrap round, go into hair, in between fingers. The foresail signs are bent and ripple in wind. One had fallen last fall, and snow melt is revealing it again. Rattle in ground wind, siding, weakening on everything. Spring. Underneath, the bulbs want to clear the sill of dark and find the sun. I see them now under there, in there, soggy with melt and loam which is loosening as their skins rot. To let the whitest tendrils out, out they go, snaking everywhere till the leaves are blurring. They fur out, they exist, another year's loan to time. And the bud will form in the sleeve of the silky leaf, and they will quietly among the slow-working pigeons, and there where a dog is leaping in almost complete invisibility, make slim heads, thicken. I am ill, you know, says the man walking by, his dog pulling him, so much joy, and nothing will make it more or less, the flower as alive as it is dead, above which the girl with earphones walks, humming. No one has warned her yet she is free. But why, says the imagination, have you sent me down here, down among the roots, as they finally take hold? It is hard, they wrench, the loam is not easy to open. I cannot say it, but the smell is hope meeting terrifying regret. I would say, do not open again. Do not go up. Stay under here. There is no epoch. We are in something that is not the world. Why try to make us feel at home down here? Take away the poem. Take away this desire that has you entering this waste dark space. There are not even pockets of time here. There are no mysteries. There is no laughter, and nothing ever dies. The foreclosure you are standing beside, look to it. There is a woman crying on the second floor as she does not understand what it will be like to not have a home, and how to explain to the children at 3:35 when the bus drops them off. The route is breaking its face open and shoving up to escape towards sun. Nothing can stop it, though right now the repo men have not yet come. The school bus is only just getting loaded up. The children pooling, squealing, some stare out the window. Kiss the soil as you pass by. It is coming up to kiss you. Bend down to me. You have placed me here. Look to me on all fours. Drink of the puddle. Look hard at the sky in there. It is not a sky. It is not there. The flame of sun which will come out just now for a blinding minute into your eyes is saying nothing, no one. Take your communion. Your blood is full of barren fields. They are the future in you. You should learn to feel and love. There will be no more, no more. Not enough to go around, no more around, no more. Love that. The second poem I'd like to read is called Lull, and it's on page 56 of Place. At the forest's edge, a fox came out. It looked at us, nobody coming up the hill, hungry, looking to take food. The fox eye trained, nobody coming up the hill in the broad daylight, with an axe for wood, for water, for the store in the pantry. I stock the pantry. I watch for rain, for too much rain, too fast, too little, too long. When dryness begins, I hear the woods click. Unusual. I hear the arid. Unusual. My father is dying of age. Good. That is usual. The valley is my touch, my sense, my law, my soil, my sensation of my first person. Now everything is clear. Facts lick their tongue deep into my ear. Visiting hour is up. We are curled on the hook we placed in our brain, and down our throat into our hearts, our inner organs, we have eaten the long fishing line of the so-called journey and taken its fine piercing into our necks, backs, hands. It comes out our mouths, it re-enters our ears, and in it goes again deep the dream of ownership. We count up everyone to make sure we are all here in it together, the only shareholders. The applause lines make the tightening line gleam, the bottom line. How much do you think you could own? The first tree, we believed, was a hook. We got it wrong. The fox is still standing there. It is staring at us, not scared. There is nothing behind it, beyond it, no value. The story of Eden, revision. We are now breaking into the garden. It was for the interglacial lull, protected from us. We have broken in, have emptied all the limbs, the streaming fabric of light milliseconds, leaves, the now inaudible birds, whales, bees, have in these days made arrangements to get compensation. From what? We know not, but the court says we are to be compensated for our way of life being taken from us. Fox says, "What a rough garment your brain is. You wear it all over you." Fox says, "Language is a hook you got caught. Try pulling somewhere on the strings, but no, they're all through you. Had you only looked down," Fox says, "look down to the road and keep your listening up." Fox, Fox, will you not move on my heart? Thinks, checking the larder and the locks. Fox says, "Your greed is not precise enough."